Morning, guys. Welcome to Coffee Chat. Wow, it is a little chilly out here this morning and a bit windy too, actually. But I can see the sun coming up over here, so hopefully, blow all these, gray skies away and it'll all warm up. This is Texas, don't you know? It can be like minus something in the morning, and by the midday, it's like 75, 80. So who knows? Hey, just look at the steam coming off my cup right there. Anyway, wow. Well, guys, I was reading two articles today, and the first one is kind of crazy in a way. So, apparently, I guess a lot of the grocery stores in the UK, and for those of you who are in the UK, maybe you can confirm this, that are limiting or rationing fruits and vegetables, packs of fruits and vegetables. I guess one of the major, I think it's Tesco, big grocery chain over there, has limited like the 2 packs, and they're saying, oh well, this is because of poor weather in North Africa and Spain. But what really gets me is this: the UK, in terms of like agriculture, the stuff that they can actually produce for themselves, a lot of these nightshade type things, because we're talking tomatoes and different things like that, aren't they able to grow that in the UK? Because my understanding is that they could, and that actually a lot of great soil over there to actually grow this stuff themselves. And so that just makes you wonder, like, what's going on with their own markets? Are obviously they're not producing enough for themselves. And that's the thing, guys. When you think about a lot of the imports of stuff that a lot of times it's being imported from other countries because it's cheaper than actually growing it in your own home country. But the fact of doing that actually can kind of put your population at risk if you don't have a built up and strong agricultural system for yourself. I mean, really. And it wasn't too long ago, actually, there in the summer, I think, somewhere in there, that we were doing an article where in the UK, a lot of the farmers were coming out and saying, hey, look, the price of this fertilizer and all this stuff is so ridiculously high that we're not able to actually go out there and produce what we need to produce in order to meet demand. And so that might be another thing. Now, the second article, boy, I'll tell you what, I found this one absolutely rich. So a study was done, and it comes out that people with higher cognitive ability are more concerned about free speech than they are about political correctness. And I thought, boy, that one hit the nail on the head. Look, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out that it doesn't matter what kind of political correctness that you have. The moment they take away your free speech, you've lost any kind of voice in the entire political system. And so for people that have a little bit higher cognitive ability, they're thinking down the road there. They're peeling back that onion. They're saying, wait a second here. I would rather have other people have an opposing view and the freedom to express it than even what my view is. Because if I take away their ability to express their view, hey, someone could come along and take away my ability to express my view. And what's politically correct today may not be politically correct down the road. So, hey, it doesn't take too much for that penny to drop when you're really thinking about it, does it? But of course, that doesn't play well with this woke crowd, that has to have it just their way. They can't. The one thing that really amazes me about these folks that are like that, all the fact checkers and the politically correct woke bits, is they come out with this word and they love it: tolerance. But guys, do they really have any tolerance? No, they don't. They can't even stand up to any kind of opposition whatsoever, and they literally fold like a paper bag when anybody challenges them. And then it's all, boundaries, and all this kind of nonsense, because the reality is they really have no argument, and they know that they really can't win it. So the first thing they do is try to eviscerate your character. They don't fight, they don't argue over the argument, do they? No, what they do is they attack the person. And that's just how it goes with these folks. It reminds me of a schoolyard bully, It's crazy. But I just thought that article was just priceless. That the cognitive ability of people that have higher cognitive ability are actually more interested in free speech. And I thought, boy, oh boy, what it nailed it. Anyway, well, guys, I sure hope that you're having a fantastic week. It's been an interesting one, to be sure, with all the news that's been bouncing around. And of course, all this talk about WW3 and everything like that, and people getting worked up. Thing is, I actually don't really feel that we're going to go down that road just yet. I mean, let's pray we don't, obviously. But, when you see all this kind of stuff coming out, it often reminds me of all the manipulation through the fifth estate and keeping people at a high level of anxiety and FUD and all this and that, because the reality is, hey, look, if you can keep them distracted over here, well, maybe you might be able to slip this over here by these things by over here. And that's kind of like what goes on oftentimes. And so I think a lot of it is just a big dog and pony show and all of that kind of stuff, because hey, the consequences are so severe that I think everybody on that whole spectrum of what's going on realizes that, look, it's not worth it. It is really not worth it. But hey, who knows? Well, guys, I sure hope you're having a fantastic day. And until later on, where we have a fantastic video for you, I hope you have an amazing day and take care.